I'm going to talk about a few advantages to using my Google Spreadsheet to track your daily documentation for services provided. This can be used by speech-language pathologists, social workers, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and many more. So, to begin, I'd like to show you how there are different tabs located on the bottom of my spreadsheet. If you follow my cursor, you will see the different tabs on the bottom. You'll notice the last tab says Attendance, and here is where you will enter all of your students' names and the minimum frequency they will need to be seen according to their IEP. So the only thing that you will enter manually onto this page is column A, student name, and I just have initials for the example, but you will enter the first and last name, as well as column B, the minimum frequency that their IEP states they need to be seen. So for example, if a student needs to be seen 2 to 4 times a month, the minimum frequency would be 2, and the rest of this page will calculate itself based on the formulas that I have created. So as you can see, it says the name and each of the months. And these months will color code and turn green as soon as they hit the minimum frequency they need to be seen that month. So for example, in this row, NL needs to be seen at least twice a month. And these green boxes indicate he was seen at least twice in the given month. There's a couple months it doesn't look like he was seen the minimum frequency. If you scroll over, you will see the number of times each speech goal was targeted and the accuracy. So back to NL in this row. He targeted goal 1 4 times with an average of 75% accuracy. Goal 2, 3 times with an average of 78% accuracy. He targeted goal 3, 8 times with 83% accuracy. And this indicates zeros because he actually does not have a 4th and a 5th goal. I just left it there, but if you chose to delete it, you could. You will also notice that on the bottom here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to click on Monday, and I'm going to show you how this works. So for Monday, you will enter a template for the students that you typically see on Mondays. So I just put initials here, but you will write the student's full name, and you'll add the time that you typically see them, as well as the group type and the number of students in that group, and you can also add their speech objectives. I put the IEP date on them too because I think that's important to know when the upcoming IEP will be. The frequency they need to be seen. And the column here, activity, is if you'd like to write a specific worksheet name that you have done with the student on that session so that you do not repeat activities. I find that convenient to use. Some people just like to put that information in the provider notes. That's up to you. If you'd like to delete this column, you could. Here we have the Medicaid column. If the student is Medicaid eligible, you could type yes if they are, just as a reference. That might help you in the future. So as I said, this is a template. This is something where you just leave it as is, and then when you're ready to input the data for Monday, you will hold down the number 4 here off to the left, and you will go down and select all of the students in that group. Right-click, copy the information, and then you're going to paste it in the documentation sheet. Select at the very bottom when you scroll down, right-click, and paste. That is how you paste the template into the spreadsheet called documentation. Documentation is a very important tab because this information is what will transfer over to the attendance sheet. So this is where you need to make sure you're accurate with your dates because it will track the attendance for you. And you only need to type into column B the date. A will populate itself. So for B, you would type in the date. Let's say we did therapy on January 20th. Click enter. And this automatically updates for us based on the formula that I have created. So if I wanted to copy this, I could paste it for all students since they were all seen on the 20th, and the first column here will automatically update. And then you could add your provider notes as well as whatever goal you targeted for each student. And as you notice, they will color code as you type in a goal number. Here you'll add your percentage of accuracy for the student and the goal that was targeted. If you choose to, you could enter the percentage as so, or you could also type in equal sign and a fraction, which will calculate itself to the given percentage. This is helpful when doing articulation therapy and or any type of language therapy where you would like to calculate a percentage just by typing in the fraction. This is also very helpful when you are seeing a group of students on Monday, and let's say there's a snow day. You want to quickly document that you will not be seeing these students because there is no school. And if you see the little drop-down arrow right here under service type, there are options to select from, or you can also just start typing, and the choice may pop up, and you can click it, and it will say what you choose. I selected no school day, and right here I could write snow day, just as a reminder for my own notes that I didn't see him on the 20th of January because we had a snow day. Then, to quickly copy and paste that for all students in the group, you drag your cursor over, grab the blue dot, and pull it down, and that's a very quick way of documenting that you did not have school that day because of a snow day. Now, it's important to note this at the top. I wrote, use this column only for direct services and this one for direct and indirect. So this date will be for every single entry. You will use it for parent communication, teacher consultation, and direct services. Now this first column is only for direct services. So I'm going to delete these numbers right here because I did not see that student on that day, and I do not want that to calculate under their attendance because I didn't actually see them. I just want to note that for my own reference. You would leave it if it were a direct service, such as here on the 25th of April when I saw DS individually. I leave it there so it calculates under my attendance tab. Okay. So if I go back over to the attendance tab, you will see how each of the students have the attendance updated, as well as the goal and the accuracy. All right, so also on the main tab here under documentation, you can click this first box right here in the upper left corner to select all of the cells in the spreadsheet. And this button right here is the filter. And if you click to turn the filter on, there are many functions that you can do when the filter is turned on. You can select the drop-down arrow for any of the options. I'm going to select student, and I'm going to show you how you can filter by student name. Right now it has all of my students on there, and as you can see, it's a very large spreadsheet. There's a lot of information on there, but let's say that we only want to look at one student. So when you click it, you can clear, which will just temporarily clear the other students, and let's say you only want to look at data for CC. And then you click OK, and it will only show you the information for CC. And if you'd like to filter further, you can click the goal, and you can click sort from A to Z, and it will sort these chronologically. So now we're looking at CC and his progress with goal 1, then goal 3, and goal 4. So it puts them in order. Let's say we would like to see how the CC is doing only with goal 3. You can temporarily clear those and just select 3. It will only show you 3. And as you go through these settings, you can also print just what you have selected here. That's another option. But since this is green, these are indicators showing you that the filter is on. And I'd like to turn it off by selecting all and bringing the rest of the students back. Also, when clicking this button here in the corner, you can do many other functions that involve the alignment, such as if you want to center the text or push it all to the left. You can vertically align it to go to the bottom of a cell. I like to keep mine in the middle of the cell. I think it's easier to read. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and show you a couple more features about how it color codes according to what you say. So I noted here how the school day was closed due to snow, but if we select another option, such as an IEP, that will color code accordingly. We can also do consultation, and that will color code accordingly. If a student is absent or if a provider is absent, all of those will color code differently. So it's a quick and easy way to look at your document and get some information that you need. Now, I think it's extremely important too to make sure that you know that the date and the names need to be correct. So the name on your spreadsheet, on your documentation, needs to be exactly the same as it is on the attendance sheet. And I'm going to show you an example here with MHH. See, we have all of our attendance for this student here for the school year. But say I accidentally typed his name wrong and I only typed MH. Now it's saying 0, that we did not see him at all. And if I add the other H, everything comes back. So it's important that the name is typed exactly the way it is on the documentation sheet. Does not matter on the Monday through Friday sheets, but the documentation sheet has to be exactly the same. Okay, so it's also important to note about the objectives. So I'd like to show you an example with a student. So I'm going to click the filter for student, and I'm going to clear them all temporarily because I'd like to show you a student. DS is the initials. So in this search box here, I can just type in DS, and he pops up, and then I click OK. There's a check mark to indicate that is who I selected. So it's only going to show me DS here. And I want to note that if in the goal box it says 1 and 2, it will not calculate those averages when you come over here to your attendance sheet under DS. Although it says 55 and 68% accuracy, it is not including this cell right here because they are in one box. They need to be typed individually. So this is how you would do that. You would right click on your box and you would insert a row below. So you would duplicate the date so you know it's on the 7th. And you would of course type his name. And then you'd come on over here and you would separate these so they're each in their own row. So I'm going to type in 86, and I'm going to delete that from this box. And I'm going to take away the 2 and put it in its own row. See, they automatically color code too, so that's very helpful. So now DS has another entry, but see, I didn't redo the month because there's not another direct service. If I were to put another 3 into this box, then it would count it as being seen another day in March. And I didn't see him another day, I just wanted to calculate the percentage of accuracy with a different goal on the same day. So that's how that would look. And that would then update accordingly under his progress with those goals. They have to be in their own row or they will not calculate appropriately. Same with this one, how it says 1 and 4, it would have to be separated into 2 separate boxes. Okay? So if you have any questions, you can email me directly. And if there is anything else, you can contact me, and I would be happy to help. This is a spreadsheet that I have created that I think is extremely helpful in documenting and keeping good tabs on student progress. So to turn this off too, just want to make sure you understand that if it's green, we know it's selected. That's why you only see DS. We need to unselect, select all the check marks come back. We select OK, and then there they all are. If you wanted to turn your filter off and not have those tabs up there, you would select the box in the corner. You could turn your filter off, and the little triangles would go away. That would be your indicator. Okay, thanks again.